Hi everybody, happy July! It's happy because honestly, we have very little happening this month. We have two new cards, Overblot Azul and Cozy Clothes Leona, and two MasterChef reruns, and that's it. So let's go ahead and go over the very small meta changes this month. Because we're getting just two cards, not much has changed this month. The SR and R averages are the same as last month, and the SSR and all cards averages have only changed slightly. Average SSR HP is 12,665.6, and average attack is 6,516.9, so around a 5-point increase for HP and 1-point decrease for attack. For the all cards average, it's about a 10-point increase for HP and 3-point increase with attack. July's all cards average for HP is 10,259.3, and for attack, 5,365.4. As you can probably tell with the minimal stat changes, my tier lists have no changes in them at all. If you're new here, I rank cards based on how good I think they'd be in exams. Even though there's no changes this month, I'll go ahead and slip in my little explainer since ranking is something I cover in my card analyses, and it's better if we're all on the same page. S-rank cards are mono-element cards who are ready to go right off the bat. A-rank cards have the potential to be mono-element units. B-rank cards have one element advantage over the enemy, but for their other spell, it's either the same spell as the enemy or void. There's no disadvantages. C-rank cards are one of two things. For R and SR cards, they're enemy void, enemy, or void. There's no disadvantages, but there's no advantage. For SSR cards, it's those same spells, or it's advantage-disadvantage, but the spell 3 is viable and not another disadvantage. D-rank cards have one element disadvantage as a default, and then either the same element as enemies or void, but their spell 3 is viable. F-rank cards have advantage-disadvantage, and you cannot rely on spell 3 to make this work better for exams. X-rank cards are the same as enemy or void, and then a disadvantage. And finally, if you see a dash, that means this card is just not viable at all for that exam, and there's nothing you can do to make it a better fit. These are cards that I think should not make the team. As of right now, there are only two exceptions I have for my ranking system, elemental buffs and debuffs. If a card has either, I bump up their ranking for the corresponding exam. If the card has either a buff or debuff alongside a void spell, they're either an A, or I boost them up 2 ranks. It just depends on what they were originally. For my exam tier lists, I don't include D through dash rank cards, but I do talk about card ranking in my card analysis segments, so it's something you should know. Here's all the tier lists, but they are the same as the ones from last month. So yeah, overall, a very chill month when it comes to meta, although I'm certain for people going for Overblot Azul or Cozy Leona this month does not, in fact, feel chill. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start our card analyses, starting with Azul. Azul is an SSR balance unit. His max HP is 12,591, and his max attack is 6,171. When the level 120 update hits, his real max HP will be 13,395, and his real max attack will be 6,565. Azul's stats are pretty solid. They're above the all cards averages and pretty much at the SSR averages. His HP is closer than his attack, but still, they're close. His spell 1 is Which is Pact, which is Flora. His spell 2 is Waves Obey Me 2 and later Waves Obey Me 3, and that's a water spell. And finally for his spell 3, he has, once again, Waves Obey Me 2 to 3 depending on how much you've built it. When it comes to exams, I'd give this card an X for Flora exams, A for Fire, and B for Water. For skills, he's got HP regeneration twice. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor HP regeneration to caster for 3 turns. At level 5, it's modest, and that's as far as it goes. And at level 10, he gets a minor power drain on foe for 1 turn. On spell 3, he doesn't start off with anything. At level 5, he gets a minor HP regeneration to caster for 3 turns, and that's it. It doesn't do anything at level 10. His duo magic partner is Leona, who gives him a modest HP boost. After the level 120 update, he'll also give Azul Nullify Freeze. His other buddies are Jamil, because of course it is, with a minor power boost, and Grim, who gives him a minor HP boost. As with all the other Overblot cards, Azul has special furniture instead of a vignette, which I get for these cards, but as per usual, annoys me. Anyways, the recipes unlock with vignette level. Level 1 is a statue of his Overblot form, level 2 is a frame, and level 3 is a statue of his phantom. So, building this Azul. In order to groovy him, you'll need to get him to power level 40 and vignette level 3. Grooving costs 5 octopus candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 12 SSR awakening perfumes, each uncap costs 3 perfume. Friendship levels are another aspect of building. Raising friendship levels increases max levels, so I would definitely invest in it. Just know it's not really something you can speedrun, but still, while you're building this card, make sure to invite them over to your guest room all the time and give them gifts based on fave attributes. Once you max out friendship levels, this card will go from max level 100 to max level 110 or 120. I gotta future-proof these videos and that update is coming, so yeah. Now we got spells. Each spell needs 351 notepads, 253 textbooks, 111 grimoires, and 318,000 thou marks. Kind of. Spell 1 needs these in green items, but spells 2 and 3 both need blue items, so you're gonna need double the normal amount of those. Like a lot of cards, picking what spell to build first is kind of difficult. I think building spell 1 first, like first, would be a good idea. Getting that healing ball rolling would be nice. Normally when I talk about building, I'm working under the assumption you've already built spell 2 enough to get duo magic, or even maxed it out. For this Azul, I'm not, and this is where I'm stuck when it comes to suggestions. Duo magic is fantastic, it's awesome, and we love it, but in this case we're weighing two options. Spell 2 and duo magic, or spell 3 with HP regeneration and the potential to have 2 healing skills on one unit. And also, it could also hit 3 times. For Overblot Azul, although this does sound a bit crazy, I think it would be worthwhile to considering building 2 and 3 up to level 5 simultaneously, and if you have the items to burn, finish off building spell 3, and if you don't have the items, maybe leaving that to the back burner. I do think his spell 3 should be maxed out so you get it to hit 3 times, so you have the potential of hitting 6 times. Does need a lot of blue items, and let's face it, sometimes it is easier to build non-mono units because they don't eat up all of one color of an item. Building his spells 2 and 3 just up to level 5, at least for now, only eats up 102 notepads, 66 textbooks, and 8 grimoires, which frankly I think is extremely doable. If you're strapped for blue items, I'd recommend doing the split. So let's quickly chat about potential teammates. Ceremonial Robes Leona is cheap duo magic activation, and he's got overlapping elements with Azul. These next ones I'm honestly a bit meh about because the spells aren't totally overlapping with Azul, so these suggestions would be better for Omni or Void battles. Labware Jamil will give buddy bonuses. Apprentice Chef Grim will give buddy bonuses too, and then he also shares Jamil as a buddy. It's the same-ish case with Labware Grim. He gets bonuses and gives bonuses. He doesn't have any shared buddies though. Labware Sebek and Apprentice Chef Ordo both get bonuses from Azul, but don't give him any. For higher rarity teammates, Dorm Uniform Leona would be a great option. He's got Flora spells, and he's Azul's duo magic partner. Dorm Jamil would also be a solid option. He gives Azul a buddy bonus, and although you would need to build him a little first, he does have a water spell. If you're building a team to go against fire units, this Jamil would work really well with Azul, granted you do unlock his spell 3. And finally, we have Dorm Riddle. Azul doesn't get anything from this unit, but he does activate Riddle duo magic, so that's something at least. So that's potential teammates. Let's talk about potential replacements in case Azul does not come home. Our first option is Cozy Close Silver. I already kind of talked about this in Silver's card analysis, but these two are super similar to each other. Both balance, Flora Water, Jamil as a buddy, power drain, and HP regeneration. Their stats are also fairly close to each other. Overall, solid replacement if you have him lying around. Next is Overblot Vil. He's balance, has Flora and water spells, and Jamil and Grim as buddies. The biggest downside to this Vil is there's absolutely no skill overlap. Vil doesn't have any healing at all, and he doesn't have power drain. If you need a unit to slot into a Jamil and Grim team, this Vil would be great, but if you want Azul more for healing, he may not be the best option out there. Or you could just put a healer into the team, I don't know. We got another Vil card in this collection, Outdoor Wear Vil. He's balanced, Flora Water, and has power drain. Unfortunately, no healing and no shared buddies, so that sucks. He'll be an alright budget replacement for Azul. And last but not least, we have Seaside Suit Rook. He's got water spells, is mono water, and has 2 healing skills. Rook doesn't share any buddies with Azul, and he has restoration versus regeneration, but the mono water and 2 heals makes him a very nice pared down version of Azul. And to no one's surprise, Rook is my favorite of the 2 budget options. While Vil does have Flora, which is nice, Rook's double heals and mono water lineup really seal the deal for me. Overall, this Azul is nice. He's got the potential to be a mono water unit, which we love. He's got 2 healing skills, which we also really love, both of which are nice anyways, but regeneration is the rarer one, if I recall correctly, and also keeps on healing as opposed to restoration, which is a one and done. But yeah, he's a nice unit, and that's all I really got for him. Leona is an SSR balance unit. His max HP is 12,126, and his max attack is 5,950. When the level 120 update comes to EN, his actual max stats are going to be 12,900 for HP and 6,330 for attack. Leona's stats are fine. It's above the all cards averages and a bit under the SSR averages. His spell 1 is Zero Ray, his spell 2 is Fire Shot 2 and later Flame Blast 2, and his spell 3 is Fleet Shot 2. When it comes to exams, I'd give this card a B for Flora exams, C for Fire, and D for Water. For skills, he's got Power Boost, Nullify Freeze, and Power Drain twice. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor Power Boost to caster for 1 turn. At level 5, it's Modest, and he also gets a minor Power Drain on foe for 1 turn, and both of those skills do nothing at level 10. I have no idea why he's built like that, but okay. On spell 3, he starts with a Nullify Freeze to caster for 1 turn. At level 5, it's for allies for 1 turn, and at level 10, he gets another minor Power Drain on foe for 1 turn. His duo magic partner is Lilia, who gives him a minor HP and Power Boost. Again, when the level 120 update happens, Lilia will also give him Nullify Blind. His other buddies are Trey and Rook, both with a minor Power Boost. Alright, so building. In order to groovy Leona, you'll need to get him to power level 40 if at level 3. Grooving costs 5 Lion Candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 12 SSR Awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 3 perfume, so the more copies you pull, you'll be using 3 less perfume. Friendship level, which is guest room based, is honestly near impossible to calculate, so I can't tell you how many items or how many invites it takes to max out these cards. But that being said, I would highly advise you to raise friendship levels because if you do, you can raise Leona's max level from 100 to 110. Or 120, again, for the 3rd time, depending on when Ian will do the level 120 update. Now we have spells. Each spell needs 351 notepads, 253 textbooks, 111 grimoires, and 318,000 Thou marks. Spell 1 needs these in white items, Spell 2 needs red, and Spell 3 needs green. In total, that's going to cost 954,000 Thou marks. When it comes to what spell to build first between 1 and 3, I would go with 3. I know it's a larger investment, but Spell 3 does start off with having Nullify Freeze, so that's nice. And also his other skills are kind of simple. I think most people pulling for this Leona, granted it's not just for Oshi reasons, are probably eyeing that Nullify Freeze anyway, so yeah. And also, once you unlock that spell 3, it does kind of open the gate of potential teammates, but we'll talk about that, in a moment. Okay, so now that we've covered everything, let's get into the actual meat of the analysis. This Leona is obviously going to be more suited for fights where you're going against Freeze, although you can use him in other scenarios, of course. His Cosmic spell does make him a bit more flexible with team placement, but the main issue, if you want to call it that, is that if you want to use him in water battles, you have to unlock spell 3, which, like we've covered, can be a pretty big investment. As is, he's more built for Flora battles and fighting Flora units because he has fire right off the bat. So if you need him for a water battle, you either have to buckle down and unlock spell 3, or you just have to risk him being at a disadvantage and taking more damage. In a case like that, you would most likely need a healer of some kind with him to make up for that. It depends on the battle if it's a necessity or not, but it just kind of sucks that that's a thing in the first place. When it comes to potential teammates, I feel like there's basically 2 categories, pre-spell 3 and post-spell 3. So right off the bat, Dorm Rook is going to be a good option because of his spells and he gives Leona an attack boost. Ceremonial Robes Lilia is another option. Budget Duo Magic activation, buddy bonus, spells work well together. Ceremonial Robes Rook is basically the same story except he just has the buddy bonus and no duo magic aspect to him. Lion Garb Lilia is another potential teammate. Lilia is going to be nice because he has that advantage, it's cheap duo magic activation, and then that buddy bonus. Once you unlock spell 3 though, that brings a lot more potential teammates. Dorm Lilia is going to be another option. He's got Flora Cosmic, activates duo magic, and has a buddy bonus. And also, I just like using Lilia's Dorm card, it's one of my staples. Dorm Trey gives him a buddy bonus and they both have Flora, that's kind of it. Ceremonial Robes Trey would also be a pretty good teammate to Leona. He gives him a buddy bonus, so that's great. Our last category, which I've conveniently left secret until now, is cards that really, Leona's working for them and not the other way around. Dormville, he's got Flora Void, Leona triggers Ville's duo magic and gives him a buddy bonus. If Dormville is a card you use often, Cozy Clothes Leona would be compatible with him, but admittedly, Ville really isn't doing anything for this Leona, so keep that in mind. And also, this is kind of a high investment teammate for that Ville, so yeah, that's a thing. Ceremonial Robes Malleus gets a buddy bonus from Leona, but Leona gets nothing from him, and the same goes for Apprentice Chef Apple. Apple gets a buddy bonus, but this Leona doesn't get any bonuses from Apple. And also, keep in mind, although the spells will be absolutely wonky as fuck for this, Dorm Rook does have Apple as a duo magic partner, so I guess theoretically you could do, like, Dorm Rook, Apprentice Chef Apple, Cozy Clothes Leona. I do feel like that team would be insanely wonky, though, just because of spells, though, so, like, I don't even know why I suggested that then. So if you don't manage to get Cozy Clothes Leona, what are some alternative units? Our first option is Lab Coat Trey. They're both balanced, have Rook as a buddy, have Power Boost, and have Nullify Freeze. Trey has Fire Shot 2 as a spell too as well, and he has Flora and Void spells, although they're in opposite slots from Leona's. Overall, Trey hits a lot of the same notes as Leona, so I think should Leona not come home, this Trey will be a great backup. Next is Platinum Jacket Jade. They're both balanced, have the same spells, have Power Boost, and have Power Drain. The biggest problem with this Jade is that he doesn't share any buddies with Leona, so if you wanted Leona for a specific team and you don't want to switch out loads of units, this Jade might not be the best fit, but if you just want Leona's spells and some of his skills, Jade would be a solid option. Our SR budget option is Seaside Suit Malleus. They have the same spells 1 and 2, have Rook as a buddy, and have Power Boost. Malleus does lack all of Leona's other skills though, so while he's a good pared down version, he's definitely pared down, you know? If you really need a budget unit with Nullify Freeze, right now there's literally only one option, and that's Apprentice Chef Vil, and I can't say he's a great budget version of Leona. The only things they have in common are Void spells and Nullify Freeze. That's it. If you're desperate for an SR with Nullify Freeze, Vil is your only option, but he's not really close to Leona at all, so honestly, I can't really recommend him. It is that bad. Our final alternative is Outdoor Wear Leona. They're balanced, Void Fire, have Power Drain, and have Power Boost. Outdoor Leona doesn't have Nullify Freeze, and he also doesn't have any shared buddies. He's like Malleus, where he's a good budget option, but you will be feeling the budget. Overall, my favorite budget alternative is Malleus. He's just more similar to Leona than Outdoor Wear Leona. Overall, Cozy Clothes Leona is solid. He's got Void, so he can be a bit flexible with team placement. He's got Nullify Freeze. Yeah, that's all I really got. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting Master Chef reruns so soon. I'm still working on the Ultimate Card Comp, but that should hopefully release later this month, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And that's it for the month. If you guys are pulling on any of these banners, good luck. Before we go, I'd like to quickly thank my ladyfingers-in-waiting who support me and allow me to continue to do this. A massive thank you and telepathic snacky treat to Meatgal2189, Omimi, Visa, Orion, Dorcas, Crabjail, Lady Lunarine, Yungumo, Farafo, Valentino, Yosa the Kiseki, and Dorcas 2. Thank you guys, and I'm Kiryu. If you'd like to join the Ladyfingers-in-Waiting and get early access to my videos and to our Discord, I have memberships open here on YouTube. I also have Twitch subs if you're more of a live stream person. And if you made it this far, thank you too. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night or whatever you're having, and yeah, bye y'all!